Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Udika Kumari and I am the undergraduate at the Rajarata University of Sri Lanka. Today I am going to discuss about the strings in the Python. But I already discussed the basic things of the Python in part 1 of the strings in the Python. You can refer the part 1 and move to the second video. Let's move to the our lesson. Let's begin with the string comparison for the today lesson. We use the comparison operators to compare the two or more strings and tell the how the status of the variables. If we can get this output of the comparison operator conditions true or false. If the condition is true, we get the true, and if the condition is false, then we get the result as a false. Here you can see that there are some comparison operations. Let's assign some values for these operations. If we get as the A is equal to the 10 and B is equal to the 20. When we are comparing these two values, you can say that the A is less than the B. Here we use the less than operator for the tell. If we run this command of the compiler, then we can say that the A is less than the B. Yes, it is true. Therefore, Python interpreter gives the true as a result of this condition. And if it is on the second condition, A is greater than or than the B. A is 10 and B is 12. Therefore, these two have the different values, and these two are not same. And B is greater than the A. Therefore, A is less than. Then Python compiler give the result as a false. And likewise, there is a sum operator greater than or equal, less than or equal. A is equal to the B. Here use the sign to twice type the assign mark and check whether these two numbers are same or not. These two numbers are same or not? No. Therefore, Python give the false. And after that, you can say the A is not equal to the B. In this statement, if we run this statement, what will be the output of this statement? It will give the true because A is not equal to the B. And we can use the and or not operators with the comparison. It will give the result corresponding to the these operators. Here you can see the example. String 1 and string 2. String 1 is the variable, and we store the green text in the string 1 variable. And after that, you can see the string 2. String 2 is the variable name, and black string is stored in that variable. If you want to if you want to know that these two variables are same, we can use the print. And here we include the text. It is both equal, comma, string 1 assign, not assign. Here we use the assign operator twice. That means check whether these two variables are same or not. And second line is string 1 is greater than the string 2. Here we put the condition string 1 is greater than string 2. How the values can we can compare the two values, which one is the greater than or less than, but how we can compare the strings? greater than or equal or less than or equal. I told you in the previous video, part 1 of the Python string, ASCII table. There is operations, operators and alphabets and some characters, and we assign some values for the character. That is the standard method ASCII table. According to the ASCII table, here we level the these string 1 and string 2. Likewise, we tell as string 1 is greater than string 2. And here, if we run this program, you can see the is both equal, false. Yes. Here we can say that these two, the content of these two variable is not same, and is string 1 is less than string 2. Yes, it is true. Is string 1 is less than the string 2. It is false. Likewise, there are some conditions. Now we move to the next one. Here you can see the string formatting operator. Python used the modular mark operator to format the set of the variable enclosed in the text with the argument specifications. I explained the string format using the below example. You can see here we get the text. Text is the pin and it assigned to the name variable. If we want to print the name variable, we can use as the inside of the quotation. We must contain our text that we want to. We want hello, comma, and here you can see where we give the modular mark, and after that we mention the s. Why we are using the s? Because this is the string. If it is an integer value, we must mention the d. If it is floating point number, we must mention the here instead of the s, f, and close the quotation. Outside of the quotation must be mentioned the modular operator with the variable name that we need to replace in the text. And third statement, here you can see here we assign the value for the h variable, and we want to print the name and age of this person in the screen. Therefore, we must mention the inside of the quotations the name and age variables with their corresponding formatting. The modular operator and s, here the mean is the string variable, is the modular operator, and d mean the integer. Here we mention we must here print the integer variable, and yes or. This is the text that we want to print on the screen, and after that inside the print comma function we must mention the modular operator and corresponding variables we want to name and age the print on the screen. This is the execution of this code. I think that you can get the idea about how the string format work. Here you can see another example. If we want to print on the screen hexadecimal value, we can use the x with the modular operator. And if we want to get the output in the 3 values, that's mean if we want to print the 1 but we want to get 1 as the 001. Therefore, we must mention the inside of the curly bracket, not a curly bracket, quotation, module operator, 3 and D. 3 mean we must get output in the 3 values. After that, when we are print on the screen decimal floating point numbers, we must mention the inside of the quotation percentage mark dot 1F. What is mean of it? Dot 1 mean decimal point. If we want to 3 decimal points, we must mention the dot 3. In this here, we want to output as 2 decimal places. Therefore, we must mention the 2.f. And if you want to print the binary value from the form of the decimal form, we must mention the binary value that we want to print on the screen in the decimal place value. And after the modular operator, we must mention the I. These are the string formatting. I think that you can get the idea about how we work with this type of strings. Format method. You know there is a inbuilt method and user-defined method. The format is the inbuilt method in the Python, and we give the some text format to print on the screen. Let's look at the example and here you can see the example. In this example, here there is a text. Text is the name of the variable, and we assign some text strings to the text variable. Inside of the text variable, there is a format. The format is we mention as the inside of the curly bracket. Inside of the curly bracket, there's a price. Price is the variable name, and after the colon and 2 point F mean the price, the result of this statement, we get the price of the sum of the good in 2 decimal places. If we print in this text on the screen, text dot format is the inbuilt method, and inside of the parenthesis, we must mention the value of the price. Here we give the price as a floating point variable. Therefore, we must assign the some floating point number for the price variable. We can give the string format as a name or as an index, or we can place as the empty. Firstly, you can see the name it indexes. String 1 is the name of the variable, and we assign some string to that variable. She is this. We always mention these formats inside of the double quotation. She is inside of here we mention the parenthesis, curly bracket. Inside of the curly bracket, we mention the F name. F name is the name of the variable. Here we index all the index by variable names. And her age is the integer value, and here we mention the variable name. After that, dot and format. Here we call the inbuilt method. Inside of the inbuilt method, we must mention the name and age. Here we assign this name for the name and this value for the age. If we compile this code, it will give the name and age of the her. As well as if we like to mention the index of the some text, we can use the inside of the parenthesis 0 and 1. 0 mean zeroth index of this data set, and 1 is the one index of this data set. This data set can be the any type of data. It can be a text, integer, floating point, any other. We call the same way for all the numbers, all the data. The 0 mean here we share this name is assigned for the 0th index, and 21 is assigned for the 1th index. As well as we can place as in the empty curly brackets. If we place in the empty curly bracket, Python automatically identified the these values are where these values must be placed in this text and assigned. If there is a if the inside of the text places the three empty curly braces, and here we mention the inside of the format method two values. Then Python create the error because Python cannot identify the third place which value must be placed. Likewise, now you can see that there is another Python string format. We can indent the some values of the Pythons. But we can use in the inside of the curly bracket colon and greater than or equal mark with the number that we want to indent. Here you can see that there is some example, as well as we can use there is a Python has the 1000 operator. If we want to separate the some large number, we can use the 1000 separator. This is the car is US dollar inside of the curly bracket, colon and comma. Comma is separate the large number of integer values. Text 1, the binary of the 0 is the 0th index. We must mention the here inside of the curly bracket 0 colon B. That is mean 0th index value must be binary. Then Python return the binary of the inside. Here mention the decimal value, and is here mention the binary value. Let's run this program. Here you can see the output of the this program. When we are on this program, you can see like us output. String modulars. String modular contain the number of functions to process the standard Python string. Mostly use string modulars. You can see that there are some examples regarding to the string Python modulus string.upper. That's mean if we want to get the text in the uppercase, we must mention the string.upper inside of the parentheses. Must be mentioned the text that we want to get in the uppercase. If we want to divide the some text into several parts, we can use the slit modular. And if we want to replace the some text instead of the another text, we can use the replace modular. This is the, I think that you can get the idea about how they work with the Python. And thank you so much.